Hi CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to do the raised spiral granny square. Okay, so on the back, this is what it looks like. So it's definitely a blanket that is reversible. Either way, it looks absolutely lovely. This is the side I love best, but as you can see on the other side, it looks beautiful as well. Okay, so if you haven't yet, please hit the red subscribe button below. Please like the video if you like it, and please share it. That helps so much when you share my videos to crochet groups or your friends or anything you would like to do. I appreciate it so much. Okay, so to get into this tutorial, the materials that you're going to need, I'm using a 5.5mm hook. You will need a darning needle for the end if you don't want to know what a darning needle looks like. You also might call it a crochet needle, but this is what it looks like right here. And then you will probably need a pair of scissors at the end of your project, whatever you're making. Now this makes beautiful placemats, blankets, afghans, lapgans, baby blankets, anything that you would wish to make out of this, you can definitely do so. But this is a stitch. Now the spiral granny square is not a new stitch, obviously. It's been around for a long time. And there are a lot of videos on how to do it, but I'm changing it up just a little bit so that the back can look just absolutely beautiful with this raised stitch. And it's just a little bit of a difference. Okay, so you do want to use two colors. I will leave in the description below the yarn I'm using for this video, but I am using a rainbow yarn from Hobby Lobby for this background color, and then I'm using the offset color as white, but it can be any color you wish. You just want to definitely use two different colors or you won't be able to see these beautiful lines throughout. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to start with my colored, my rainbow color for the middle, and that's because the raised portion that you saw, this right here, is going to be the offset color, okay? And that's how I want it. But now you can change this up any way you want, but if you want it to look like mine, this is the way I did it. So I'm going to start with this. So you're going to start with a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 4 to make a circle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to slip stitch back to your first chain from the hook. Bring that through. I'm using my thumb to hold my circle open like this so I can get into the middle of it. Then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. That counts as my first double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over and do 2 more double crochets into the middle of my circle. So there's 1 and there's 2. So this starts off just like a normal granny square would start. Okay, then you're going to chain 2 and you're going to do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 2 again, and you're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 2 again, and you're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. But this is where we're going to start making a difference here. Okay, so we're not going to chain 2. We're going to pull tight, get this all tightened up like this. Okay, and now we're going to be working across this way. So you're going to yarn over, and we're going to be looking at this first chain of 3 that we did. So right here you can see that we have our chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Right there, just like that. You're going to work into the second chain, and you're going to put a double crochet, just like this. Then you're going to go into your next stitch, which kind of looks weird now that we worked into this one. And that's because we're working in a chain of 3. So let me take my darning needle and show you where we're going to put our next double crochet. So right here, which doesn't even look like a stitch now, you're going to get under both of those and you're going to work another double crochet. So yarn over, go into this stitch right here, try to get through both loops, and do a double crochet. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to just place this down for now, and we're going to bring in our other white color. Now I promise you, after you do these first 2 rows, it all just works out absolutely lovely. And another thing I didn't mention in the beginning, and I'm so sorry, is that you're going to need some sort of stitch marker, and you're going to need something that will actually, not just a piece of yarn, but you're going to need something that will actually clamp your work. So I'm going to be using these little hair bows, but any of those little stitch markers that people love, you can use those as well. Okay, so we're going to pull out this yarn so it doesn't come undone, and we're going to place our stitch marker here. I'm just going to do it just like that, just going to make sure that that doesn't come undone. Then we're going to bring in our white yarn. Okay, so this is where we just stopped right there. Turn your work on its side, because you're going to be bringing a double crochet in right here where you did your last double crochet with the color. So we're going to bring in this white color just like this. Bring in your yarn. But I don't like to let that, where I brought in my yarn, that chain space, I don't like to let that count as one of my stitches. So I'm just going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's my chain of 3 right there. Then I'm going to go into my next stitch. So this stitch right here that doesn't look like a stitch now, let me grab my darning needle again to show you. Right here you're going to put a double crochet. So now you're working just like you would a granny square. You want to get a double crochet over this, a double crochet over this one, and a double crochet over this one. Just like this. Okay? Then you're into your corner, and now in the corner we're going to put 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochets into this corner. Just like that. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and put a double crochet. Make sure that you catch this first stitch right here. You might have to move your corner over. Then go into your next stitch and put a double crochet. Into your next stitch and put a double crochet. And now you're at your corner again. So in your corner, you're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And now we're over here at the top again. I've moved that over to make sure I can get all my stitches. And we're going to do the 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're at a corner again. So in this corner, we're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And then you're going to be working across the top again. So here we're going to put 1 double crochet, in the next 1 double crochet, and in the next 1 double crochet, and in the next 1 double crochet. And then right here, right before I get to this last stitch, I really want to stop because I don't want it to get confusing. That's the only reason, is I just want them to stay separate. So I'm going to raise this up, and this will all make sense in a little bit. I'm going to undo this one, and then I'm going to put that right there, okay? Because now I'm going to be pulling in my blue yarn, or my colored yarn, okay? So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working across the white here. So right here where we brought in this white yarn, we're going to be working across there. So I'm going to pull that white yarn tight just so I can see all my stitches. So I've got 1, 2, 3 stitches. So let me just show you those with the darning needle again. So we've got 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitches. And we're going to be working into those right there. So I'm going to go right into my first stitch, and I'm going to work a double crochet. Then I'm going to go into my next stitch, and I'm going to work a double crochet. But now I need to make a corner, so I'm going to chain 2. And then into this stitch right here, into that 3rd stitch, is where I'm going to put my last double crochet here for the corner. So right here, where it looks like there's not a stitch at all, is where I'm going to put my last double crochet. So right into there, we're going to put a double crochet, just like that. And this is where we're going to start making our work look raised, okay? So right here is when you're going to start working front post double crochets around now. Now that we've got all this set, this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to yarn over and do a double crochet, but we're going to do a front post. So to do a front post, we're going to go around this stitch like this, pull up our yarn and do a double crochet. And then around the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet front post. And around the next one, another front post double crochet. And don't forget this one. Around this one, we're going to do another front post double crochet. And now we're at a corner. So in this corner, you're going to work just like you normally would in corners. We're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Just like that. And now you're going to be working front post double crochets across now. So right here, we would do a front post double crochet, and here, and here. And like I said, this is what gives it its raised look, the 3D effect. And again, don't forget this last one. Work your front post double crochet, and now you're back in a corner again. So in this corner, you would work normally and do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And then you would work your front posts again. So going around your previous double crochets, we're working the front post double crochets, just like this. And then when you get to this corner, do your corner just like normal, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And now we're going to be working the front posts again. And I like to stop when I have 1 or 2 left because I'm going to pick up my other color. So I'm just going to stop now. I'm going to pull out my yarn and I'm going to change my stitch marker to over here to hold that into place. And now we're going to start on the white. Okay. And so now, instead of working front post double crochets, you're just going to work into the top of the stitches like normal, okay? So every other row is going to be the front post. So you will always be working those front posts with your rainbow color or whatever other color that you're using. So now we're going to be working into a corner, and just like we've been doing, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And then move that over to make sure you can get this one right here. And then you're going to be working double crochets all the way across. just like this. And then when you get to your corner, you do your 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Move your work over to make sure you get this first one, and then you just keep going all the way around. So once you get close to here to your stitch marker, I'm going to meet you back up again and we'll keep going. Okay, so we're nearing the end here, so I wanted to bring you back. So I'm just going to do a couple more double crochets here, and then I'm going to move my stitch marker to the white. So I'm going to pull this out, and then I'm going to take my stitch marker and put it over here so it doesn't come undone. Now you don't have to do this. If you pull it out far enough, it may not come undone, but I don't want to take that chance, so I just go ahead and put that there. But now what we're going to do, you know, a lot of times when we make granny, and this will work with any granny square blanket, okay? But a lot of times when we do granny square blankets, afghans, lapghans, stuff like that, as they get bigger, they start to wonk out a little bit, for the lack of a better word. That basically they kind of flare off in the sides. They get a little bit ripply, things like that. And so then we have to block them and we have to do all sorts of things. If you do what I'm about to teach you with any blanket, and this one, of course, that I'm teaching you, you will not have to do that. You won't have to block it. You won't have to do anything to it. And it's just a little secret that a lot of crocheters know. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to change up our corners a little bit. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And this one we will be working on our 5th. Okay, that can get a little bit confusing, but just count it out when you're done with a row. So I just finished this white one. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So after you do those 4 rows is when you're going to start doing this change up. Okay, so now, like I told you, we're in the colored, so we're working our front post double crochets instead of our regulars. We're going to work that all the way across to our corner. And then when we get to our corner, instead of doing the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets that we normally do, we're just going to do 1 double crochet, chain 2. So we're going to go into the corner, do 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet. And then you would just keep working your front post like you normally do. Now we're going to do this every 3rd row, okay? So now I'm still working my front post across. When I get to my next corner, I'm going to do the 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet, okay? Now if you don't want to do this and you want to block your work, then you can just keep doing it the regular way. That's fine as well, however you want to do it, but this is just a way to keep it from going all wonky on you. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this out so I can talk to you for a minute. So in this next corner, like I said, you would do the 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, keep doing your front posts and keep doing those corners just like that. Now in your next round, so when you pull back up the white, you're going to do your corners regularly, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And in the next one, which will be the colored round, you will do normal 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets. But then when you get to the next round, which this next time it'll be the white, you will do only 1 chain 2 and 1 double crochet. So that's just a little bit of a difference, but this is how you do this. You're just going to keep working this all the way around. You'll stop when you get close, clip it off, and then keep going again. It's an absolutely beautiful project. Let me show you the back. You're already seeing the raised look here. It's going around and around, just absolutely beautiful. When you get done, work in all your ends and you've got a gorgeous blanket. And it's, for me, I get kind of bored when I'm doing afghans and stuff like that. So it helps to have a project that changes colors, that's a little bit skilled, so that I'm not bored with it. Like for instance, C2C, I don't know why, I get halfway through with a C2C blanket and I just cannot handle myself anymore, but it does help to change colors. So and not knocking that stitch. It's a beautiful stitch and I know a lot of people like it, but I just have to have a little bit of variety. So this really helps me a lot to make a blanket because I'm changing up stitches, I'm changing up colors, I'm using a variegated yarn, so it's changing colors, and all of those things really help me to stay focused on making a blanket, because I see a lot in a lot of crochet groups and a lot on my YouTube channel, my Instagram channel, that people really have a hard time finishing them, or it takes them forever. And that's just because we get bored. We pick up other projects and then we've just got this halfway done blanket, you know, that we just can't seem to pick back up again. So these are the things that help with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, you can obviously put them in the comment section below, or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and I have a Gmail. All of that is below in the description box, and all the materials that we use today. So I hope to see you again soon. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.